I have some of my very beautiful succulents that got a little bit too dried out last year. So I need to bring them back to life and reroot them. So, as it happens, I've got a friend with bees who just brought me a ton of fresh honey. So I'm just going to add a bit of this beautiful fresh honey to some water I've just boiled to make a bit of a root compound syrup, essentially. So thank you again, Amy, for getting my life together. So we'll just let that melt in a little bit, and hopefully the little helpful honey enzymes will help the roots grow. So we also had a bunch of frozen meals that my coworkers gave us. So I'm going to just use those to put the planting pots in. All right, do we think that's enough? Should be good. Also just broke one. I'm just going to add a little tiny bit more. And then I'm going to save the rest for my brekkie. So yeah, just mix that up in there. And then I've got some cactus and succulent dirt. That. So we'll pop that in there, stir that up a bit. Looks good. And then I'll take one of these that looks a little bit better. So you can see they've got little tiny shallow roots. I want them to do a bit better than that. So it's not still too hot. No, it's good. So we'll dip it into the honey water, get some of those nice little honey enzymes. There we go. And then just drop it into the starter mix. And then once I've got all of these done, I'll actually water it with a little bit of the honey water as well. And then the windstorm today blew a branch right off our Asa, so I'm going to root that as well. I just need to grab a different compost for that. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then I'll show you at the end. All right, and me little Asa. Just pop that down in there, and then I'm gonna pop a skewer in there as well, just to prop it up. There we go. And then I have a spoon here. Just put a wee spoonful of the honey mixture down in there for each of these. This one's already got a decent little bud on it, so I think this one will probably thrive pretty well. And then I'm going to see if I can get just some of the petals to root. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. That is just life. Okay. Making a mess.
People say.
Are you being silly over there?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Alrighty. So yeah, give them a nice little watering and stick them in the window, and hopefully they will all take root. Well, it's the bank holiday weekend, Saturday morning-ish. We've had a bit of a lion. The goal for today is to get this office done, my yellow room. It's not too bad actually. We just need to screw the floors down, which have already had the underlay taped up by the boys the other day. I've got to just sand where I skimmed the other day because it is a bit rough still. from where we took the closet out, and a little bit of sanding in other places, some spackling just to make the walls a bit nicer. I have kind of realized that the roughest wall I don't really care too much about, because eventually I'm going to put a Murphy bed desk thing up here, so I'm not going to make it the most perfect ever. Once we've got this room as done as we can get it, we're going to empty Andy's office, and I need to skim all the walls in there. So we're just going to see what we can do. There's still some things happening with Dad that we might need to be there over the next couple of days, but we're going to just do as much as we can here. So let's get on with it.
Can we at least do the screwing bit, my love, so that I'm not sort of standing around looking for a thing you've already lost?
Fine. Let's screw. We struggled just a bit to get the floors level because, like in the green room, nothing in this house is level. Yeah, I mean, we can't pull them all up, but short of like starting to sort of mix and match underlay to try to get them actually level.
There's also not a huge amount of give on these, like...
No.
Yes, I think you may well have to stand in the middle while I do the corners just to get it even close, but yeah. I think you're right, it's not... Yeah. Yes, this one is just not going to be...
I mean, obviously, I'm the best part of 300 pounds, so if I can't get it to move, there's just not enough give.
Yeah. Right. Actually, it's not brilliant, but it's much better. Actually, if I can get you off for a second. Yes, it's not brilliant, but it's definitely considerably better than it was.
Yeah, so it's in the arrow bars.
Yes. Right, first of all,
this one definitely needs a screw here because it's quite
in the middle on that
side. Yeah, because
sure.
it's still raised up quite a bit there.
Okay.
Oh, sweaty Betty. Okay, which corner do you want to start on?
Okay. Well, we've done pretty much done everything. I was going to say to the left. That doesn't really work on camera either. That way. So probably this one, big one if we're doing. Yeah.
No, I more meant like on it. Does it make sense to do like over here where the two boards meet, or do you want to start at that corner?
I mean, I was thinking there because it's more obviously unflush, and then we'll just compensate for.
Yeah.
Right. So we have secured this one. So this is our.
Still a little bit.
Right, don't move.
Don't screw my toes in. That would be silly.
Can you back it up a bit?
Maybe.
Yes, that gives me. Now you can always add a screw in the borderline one. Right, and come off. That's you.
Yeah, I'm just going to this a little bit because I don't think it's quite aimed where we've ended up working. Which is silly.
I mean, it's moving in this very specific corner, but it has come up along, so yeah, not
still a little.
No, it's definitely less of a move when you're standing on it, like I said, literally just now, you just. So you come half a step forward.
Still do that. And I can be a flamingo and put all my weight on one foot.
It's weird, it was flush yourself, but no, it isn't. Okay, well, I'll tell you what.
Well, let's start there then. So we might just have to kind of inch it along.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually pretty good. So actually, if I... And don't move. She immediately shifts her weight.
Sorry. Standing is hard work. You wouldn't think it.
Yes, that's good.
Like, specifically putting all my weight on my toes isn't always as easy as it looks.
Yes, I had to write an entire song about it. That also involved facing left and thinking about whatever it was that Michael Stipe was on about.
Oh, Lord. Were you even born when R.E.M. were making music? I realize they're still making music. I also realize they're still making music, but it's crap. Make an album that's longer than 17 minutes, Michael Stipe.
It was definitely around when in the 90s when they were making CDs and such. Granted, I wasn't listening to any of it. It was mostly
Academic.
no, it was mostly like I don't know, nursery rhymes and Disney songs and whatever else Mom had on cassette at the time.
Sand in the place where you live.
We already did that one.
No, I said sand in the place where you live. It was a play on words, honey.
Yes, but we already did stand. It was literally when you were standing in the complaining about standing. Call back to like literally probably 5 seconds ago in the video.
Yes, while we've been doing the floors, I'm also trying to just get, ooh, nice catch. Get these walls ready for the next coat of paint. Probably getting more spackle on the ground than the wall, but that's okay. It's just where the old picture rail was. Some of it we did a really good job spackling, and there's a few bits that are pretty rough. So just trying to spot those now. This side seems to be better than that wall, which, I don't know, maybe we rushed it.
Also, you completely went out of focus.
Oh, hell.
Yes, they're all screwed in. I could even show you some screws in the middle if, there we go. Right, and how are you doing with the next most important detail?
For some reason, some of this looks like we actually painted with like a tiling grout comb. Lots of scratches in it that we're just trying to mitigate. So we'll go through and sand all of this down in a minute. Just make sure that we don't need to put any extra skim on. And then we're gonna paint this room. And then we're gonna move a bunch of stuff. So, progress. We had rather a lot of sanding to do from where the builders had been before and had to punch holes in for the steel. So it did take quite a few levels, and then I may have got a little out of control. Better than it was, at least. Nearly out of spackle. Oh, we're just nearly out of spackle, and I can't remember if we've got any more of the lightweight stuff or only the heavy.
Yeah, definitely got plenty more of the heavy, but that's obviously literally just what you said you need.
And then things just started going a little bit sideways.
We interrupt your regular stop motion footage to show you two things. One, the thing that I managed to get back after COVID took it away from me.
Oh, Cthulhu mug.
Yes, the horror in clay. Gained from a Kickstarter about 10 years ago, lost when we evacuated the office at the start of COVID, and finally found one that wasn't completely ruinously expensive. Now, the bad news.
Yeah, there was a crack here, and we didn't seal it enough, or it happened after we painted. My bigger worry is how easy, well, relatively easy, this is coming up.
Yeah,
From the
it's
cement board.
Yeah.
And I genuinely don't remember if we skimmed this wall before we painted it. And this is just the skim coming straight back up. So I might actually have to go back and look at footage before we painted this room to see, is that skim or is it just primer directly onto the cement?
I feel you would have done skim, but obviously your footage will know better.
Yeah, I would have
Jesus.
thought, but yeah.
Yeah, that might be. Frankly, that might be killing it for the day because.
Yeah, I've got to go back and look at some footage and just work out how bad the problem is.
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, it's looking pretty bad.
Just what I needed.
Yeah, but on the plus side, I've done some nice taping around the plug sockets again. Yeah.
I genuinely feel sick to my stomach right now. So to our slight annoyance, we have confirmed the footage from before we painted this wall. We just painted over the paint that was already here, not realizing they had painted directly onto the cement board. So I'm guessing that the paint they used was some kind of probably latex because it just peeled off in one sheet. So I am gonna scrape as much of this off as will come off easily. And then I'm gonna skim it. So yes, it's a pain in the ass, but I don't wanna have to do this again, given A, the cost of the very expensive paint that we're using, but also because I don't wanna have to redo it again. So I'm gonna start scraping, Andy is gonna start painting. I am just gonna check a couple of spots on that wall that were bubbling just to make sure we're not having the same problem. But hopefully it was just this light pink wall. Wish us luck. It definitely took off more than I was expecting, but at least once we sort of hit a barrier, the rest of the wall seemed to be attached decently well. I realize you're thinking the same thing I am. Why can't anything ever be easy? I forgot to order more of the paint for in here. We've barely got half a can. So we're gonna go put our curtains up, clean ourselves up a bit, and freaking go to bed.
This does somewhat ruin the REM joke I had lined up for this point, which was that night skimming disturbs a quiet night.
Okay.
Now, we're not skimming at night, so that doesn't work. I guess we can at least modify to night drilling, destroys a quiet night.
I mean, funnier if you had a head.
Maybe.
All right. I did my best just to sand down the edges, take off any loose paint that I could get a hold of, just to make sure that when I put the skim on, it had a proper surface to adhere to and wasn't flaky. Well, it's not the greatest skim job ever, but hopefully it's enough that it won't just peel immediately back off the walls when we paint it. I've also just gone over a bit where we had put in orange tape because it was quite frayed and sticking up. So we'll let this dry for a couple of days. We'll put some primer on it. And then at the end of the week, next weekend, someday, we will paint this room yellow. How's my favorite potato farmer?
Don't have a funny line coming up here.
At least it's not quite a whole ton of dirt anymore.
Yeah, there's still enough of a ton of compost that we're not moving it anytime soon.
True. I do say so. Look at this little cute tit. Oh my gosh. Look at this cute little potato farmer. Potato farmers.
Yeah, I mean they look soaked, but since
No.
everything's as dry as a bone, it probably needs another.
I would say at least 2.
Hopefully no more than 2, but yes, definitely 2.
potatoes. The onions will be ready to harvest next month. All the bulbs and things are kind of coming to the end of their season, but still very pretty. And over here, my little tray's doing all right. The parsley isn't loving it just yet, but we'll see if it roots in. And, you know, not much color left in here, but we've got some allium about to bloom. And hopefully these tree lilies will bloom. Hoping it's not a bad thing that they're starting to look a bit yellow, so we're just going to give it a really good soaking today. So yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like a mess, but I can also kind of see what it will be when, I don't know, someday. Cutting the wall boards with the multi-tool was a little bit tricky, but I actually did work it out off camera. Right. Dry run. Please fit. So let's bump it a little bit more against, because it actually overlaps. So hopefully that little bit that's sticking, we can just cut off a bit more of the felt, because it looks like go down that way with it a little bit and see if it's just this side. Because remember how much we had to trim this first one?
It seems to be the same amount.
Okay. All right. Well, that's not too bad actually. Like we can just cut a little tiny bit more off all of them. Okay. Yeah, it won't adhere if it's got bumps. So, okay. Good to know. We'll just take another 0.5 centimeter off. Okay, so actually let's grab the Sharpie again.
Actually, I'm finding there's a bit of I felt like this with the bottom. I don't think it's enough to.
No, because it did look pretty flush to the wood.
And so probably don't even need to do that much.
Feels like the safer bit. Ooh, hot and sweaty.
Before you pencil anything in,
What?
maybe we want to make, if we're doing it the whole length, then maybe we want to.
Yeah, I'll measure down there. I was just doing that one. Just in case they want to wind up.
Fair enough.
Oh my god, you never trust me. Oh, for a workbench. Are you just trying to piss me off right now? I don't understand why it's not going in. Like, cut one of them off.
I mean, it's cutting, just taking a sweet time with it.
Yeah. Alright, that's one. Jesus.
Right, where the box got to go. Oh, there it is.
What a pain in the patookie.
I'm wondering if it's because the first lot was secured on both ends by the staples, and this time was.
Hopefully there's an explanation, because that was some baloney.
Hopefully it was the explanation I was given.
Let's try this again. Yay, it fits. So you just have to wing glue it up, just make sure it's level. Easy peasy.
It's mainly something to.
Well, you might be able to take one of those little bits that I just cut. I was gonna say, and put it on its side, because they're relatively thin. It should be just enough of a foot. All right, do you want to just glue those while I cut the next one then?
I guess.
So not pictured while Andy was doing this, I actually did find that the multi-tool worked a lot better on the bits that hadn't already been cut. And if I was just standing up to put a bit of weight down.
Naturally, of course, Tanya's phone ran out of battery at some point, which is going to make for a long, boring drive to Stately Jennings Manor in a bit. But, yeah, there was just some gluing. You didn't miss too much that you didn't see in stop motion. Actually, no tissue paper to wipe anything on. Yes, for most of them we've been sticking in spare bits of this to brace against the floor. But apparently that one is inexplicably the exact right size, so shrug. Anyway, that's enough of that for the day.